Wrestling fans, it is time for another episode of the Piledriver podcast. We are here. We have a guest, as you can see, a beautiful soul on the bottom of the screen. He's on the bottom. Yeah, there he is. Paul, the Hammer. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me again. I think I am the most visited guest of the Piledriver, which makes me very, very proud.
You are number one fan.
Which has been warranted because we've ran some roasts over the years. And
you are like the grandfather of this podcast.
I just put the correlation together that Pauly's last name begins with an H, but it could just be Paul Hammer. That's the wrestling name. That should be your announcer name.
Paul Hammer.
Paul Hammer.
Paul E. Hammer.
I'm pitching it to Glenn. When we come back, I'm pitching it to Glenn.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be rough.
That way Pedro can say it. Paul Hammer.
Paul E. Hammer.
There you go.
Do I have to give an ode to Paul Heyman?
Yes.
Well, you're Pauly. You're Pauly, so it's choice. Really just a nod to you.
But anyways, I am your co-host, Dean the Big Dog Samples. As with me, as always, Mike, the best in the world, Alan. We are the Speedy Boys. We got our other boy in here, Pauly, with us. It's going to be a fun night tonight. We're talking OCW Beach Bash. Went on this weekend.
Beach Bash 4.
Bringing OCW Summer Tour to an end. It was an action-packed night. We're going to get into that. We got some announcements for Mega Championship Wrestling back to business. We have some announcements as far as NEOPro set the standard as well. We're going to go over that as we get towards the end. But first, let's get right into it. OCW Beach Bash. I was not there. I haven't gone to any wrestling shows this month because I am in the process of moving. So, Mike, you've been holding it down. You've been checking out the shows. Pauly was there as well.
Pauly Hammer was with me. Yeah, Pauly Hammer was with me, and it was actually fun because, as most of you know, you've heard us talk about OCW before. Normally, Pauly is sitting behind the commentary table, and normally I am running the ringside camera. Today, this event, we got to sit with the fans on the other side of the barricade and actually enjoy the show without having to work. Great time, in my opinion. I loved it. Glenn actually offered me to film at one point, and I told him, give me my ticket money back, and because I paid for my ticket, give me my ticket money back, and I'll come film, no problem. He laughed, and we didn't film. So, but I did film. I did get some sweet shots. They'll be up on our TikTok. I posted one of the videos. Actually, I took a lot of videos and pictures yesterday, enough that I'm going to make 3 highlight videos from OCW yesterday.
3?
Yeah. It started off real hot. Glenn came out and, let everybody know that Beach Bash was kind of his thing and it was his baby and he was proud of it. And basically it was his ode to SummerSlam, so to speak. And he wanted to bring the house down. Started off the night super hot. We've all heard it before. What's it called, Pauly? Isn't there a term for it when you start the night off with a good match right away?
Yeah, I think there is, but I can't remember what it is.
I thought there was too. I remember Brandon X telling me one time. The winners versus Gino and Asher.
Nah, what is that term? It's gonna bother me. I know what you're talking about.
Started off the night. Phenomenal tag team match. You see Pauly's throwing up the dub there. The winners did go on to retain, but just a solid match all around. And I'm going to shout out Gino DiCapo's fucking mustache right now because it was awesome. It was awesome. Pauly hated it. 2 people yesterday, 2 people were sporting new facial hair looks. Gino DiCapo was one of them, and Jared was the other one. Granny was not in attendance last night, but Jared was there, and he had a cop stash with some aviators, and Jared looked like the police. All right, really? It was super. Yeah, Gino looked great. Jared looked like a cop.
That's funny.
But all in all, the winners were able to pull out the victory, retain the tag team championships. I for sure thought that this one was going to be Asher and Gino's shining moment. I thought they were going to go over and take those titles from the winners, but the winners prevail again. We all know that I don't fucking count out Jimmy Shane on this show ever.
I thought
So,
about that too. I think it's just because I've been wanting to see Asher and Gino hold that gold for a while now. So I'm just like,
and while we're on this subject of this match, I just want to give props and shouts out to Asher Knox for once again being a stellar performer. This has nothing to do with the results of the win-loss match, but I'm talking in-ring skills, selling the sells from Asher yesterday. Mwah, fucking gorgeous, dude. They were beautiful. So kudos to him. He's fucking killing.
He looked like a crash test dummy.
He looked great doing it. Like everything, his body movement, everything was good with it, man. It was good.
We've been saying here for a while that Asher hasn't been getting the recognition, the respect he deserves.
He said that too. He said that today. Actually, I don't know if you saw it. He shared one of our posts, trying to get us to 1,000 followers on TikTok so I can go live maybe during a couple matches. That would be cool, I think.
That would be cool, or even just do some live shit.
Yeah, we got to get to 1,000 followers first. But Asher shared it, and he even said that in his comment when he shared it. He's like, "These guys have always been big supporters of me, so I'm not gonna bow down on Asher. Asher's the man."
Hey, on the plus side for Asher, he avoided the Piledriver and the DDT, which are basically his kryptonite. So he's making significant progress in that regard.
Was there any pile drivers delivered?
No.
At Beach Bash?
No.
Zero Piledrivers.
I tried to get Ronnie to give us one, but they were fighting Warhorse, and like I can't really expect him to pile drive Pat the Bruiser.
He could probably do it.
He probably could.
Oh yeah.
He's strong as shit.
Ronnie's crazy.
And you wouldn't think it.
Which we'll get into that. We'll get into that because actually Ronnie's strength came into play later on in the evening. But yes, the winners were able to retain their tag team championships. Great match. I got, like I said, I got some killer shots. Again, they're up. That match is up on the page already. The highlights of that match. We really didn't get any meatball chance yesterday, which I was a little disappointed in the crowd for that.
Really?
No meatball chance for Gino.
It's like almost a guaranteed thing.
Yeah. So we didn't get any of that. And then, Pauly, what was the second match? Was it Brian Huff?
Yes.
Brian Huff versus Luis Casanova. And let me tell you, first of all, I haven't seen Luis in a while. It's been a while since he's graced OCW. But this man looks like he's built like a brick shit house, dude. He looks like he spends every minute that he's not wrestling in the gym.
Well, what's his name? Something Hercules, right?
The Dominican Hercules.
Dominican Hercules.
And he certainly looked like the Dominican Hercules. My God. I remember the last time I saw Luis Casanova, it would have been, I think, Mogador a couple years back. He didn't look anything like that.
Nope.
This man has put on so much muscle.
He came out in pinstripes back then, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like a Yankees jersey kind of deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember him. And yeah, he came out yesterday and he looked awesome.
That was a completely different person as far as I'm concerned.
Brian Huff looked awesome as well, though, and you can't count out Brian Huff. This was basically David Goliath, like Luis Casanova, big man, suplex machine, versus Brian Huff, who's doing flips and shit.
A little cocky too. Being up close and being able to listen to him in the ring. Brian Huff is a little cocky.
Is he?
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that. I've not been that close enough to the ring to hear him talk.
I haven't either. I'm usually doing entrance music.
Yeah, he's got a little cockiness to him.
But it's not cocky if you can back it up. So
no, that's 100% true, and he did back it up yesterday. Again, Luis Casanova threw him all around the ring. Me and Luis Casanova locked eyes beforehand. I said, "I'd German suplex this man," and he laughed and like, yeah. And we didn't get German, but we did get a nice gut wrench suplex. We got a crazy brain buster from Luis Casanova. We got, what does Brian Huff call his move, Pauly? That Phoenix Splash deal off the top rope.
Looked like a spiral tap.
Yeah, it was phenomenal, crazy looking. He went up, hit the flips, spin, spiral tap.
The flips, the shits.
Yeah. He was able to pick up the win over Luis Casanova, so that's a really big win for Brian Huff.
Good.
And it's great to see Brian Huff back in OCW. We've been trying to get him there for a couple months now, and things just haven't worked out. So to have him there for Beach Bash 4 and to put on a great show with Luis Casanova, good stuff.
Oh, 100%, man. We said that before. I could see Bryant going after, a Heritage Championship. I could see him and Brandon Fields putting on a hell of a match. I could see him going after, even find him, maybe get him a tag team partner with him and Jake teamed up.
That's a good idea.
You're always pushing Jake, aren't you?
What was the next match, Pauly? Because it wasn't DD Trash, was it?
No, that came out of the intermission, I think. Oh, it was the championship match. It was Wilbur and
it was Wilbur versus Brandon Fields, which, in my opinion, was an okay match. Not in terms of, either wrestler particularly, but Pauly said this to me on the way home, and after I had thought about it for a little bit, I kind of agreed with him. Brandon Fields spent a majority of the match doing what Brandon Fields does and working the arm, and he was working that arm. And for him to get the schoolboy win, I was a little underwhelmed.
Really?
Maybe it was a sunset flip, Pauly. It was either a sunset flip roll up or a schoolboy roll up. It was some fucking roll up.
Well, I think it was, if I recall correctly, he fell down on it. Like,
okay.
It was a counter to a sunset flip, down and straight down to the mat.
That's right. Wilbur went for the sunset flip, and Brandon just kind of sat down and grabbed the legs and got the pin like that. It was just it was an unspectacular finish, in my opinion. I will give a shout out real quick before Pauly, because Pauly has something to say. Real quick shout out, because once again, I was front fucking row for Wilbur's beautiful cutter. I'm talking beautiful, baby.
It's a solid cutter for sure.
It was beautiful.
That's what him and Dontavios.
Yeah, that's right. You said it right the first time, baby.
Dontavio.
You said it right the first time.
Some of the best cutters in the game, baby.
You guys are gonna change this poor man's gimmick.
Yeah, no, I agree with that statement. It was beautiful.
Dontavio.
Right,
it just rolls off the tongue. It's so easy that way.
Exactly. The thing with Wilbur, to take all that punishment on the arm and still not tap out at any point during that match, that just shows the toughness of Wilbur.
Wilbur's
and
a badass.
That is Wilbur in a nutshell. I mean, if you watch the video leading up to that match, he literally cut a promo in a sun hat.
Oh, while he was mowing
topless,
the yard.
While he was mowing the lawn, drinking some scotch or something.
You know
that is Wilbur in a nutshell. So to be able to handle that,
he's a real one.
I want to see the rematch. I think we need another shot at this, and maybe
throw a stipulation on that.
Look,
no holds barred.
What'd you say, Dean? Say it again.
What?
What'd you just say?
The stipulation needs to be on there.
Boom. All right. So before and we'll get to the end and we'll give our overall scores. And I said this to Pauly. This was a big thing for me about OCW on Saturday. I had 2 tag team matches and 4 singles matches. Not disappointed with the quality of said matches. I'm disappointed with something. I need something else. I need something to put on a flyer.
I think something's missing?
I need a stipulation, Dean. I need some kind of something match. Yeah. Like, we're outside here at Kim Tam Park at Melanie Springs. Can I get a Falls Count Anywhere match? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I get a Falls Count Anywhere match where they go fight over there by the concession stand or on the playground or something?
I've always felt that way, though. I feel like every show needs at least one stipulation match.
It's not even every show, but you got to keep them in there. You can't just keep them in your back pocket and keep them held there. Because, and I'm not asking for blood. I'm not saying I need everybody to fucking bleed. Yeah, I'm not saying I need everybody to bleed. But I would love some kind of stipulation match. I know we're outside at Melanie, so we can't really do a ladder match because we have nothing to hang the title from because we're outside. So, but again, give me a Falls Count Anywhere match. Give me a no holds barred match. Give me a tables match, for Christ's sake. You know,
I love me a tables match.
Okay, but let me throw this at you. Just playing devil's advocate, because I somewhat agree with what you're saying here. Shouldn't those stipulations be attached to matches that mean something?
Not
that have
necessarily.
a rivalry attached to them that is
Hey,
personal,
you ready?
that you want
You
to
ready?
make mean
Brandon
something even
Fields.
more?
Brandon Fields versus Wilbur Whitlock submission match.
I would go one step further with that. I would bring back the 2 out of 3 falls stipulation.
One match
fall,
is a submission match.
one match is a submission match, one match is a regular match, and then the third one is dealer's choice. I actually was thinking about this last night. I came up with a
Fuck it.
concept that I think
Let's get an OCW spin the wheel, make a deal.
okay. But I came up with this
Spin
idea.
the wheel, you get your stipulation.
I came up with this idea for a new championship based here in Ohio. I call it the Buckeye Ultimate Championship. BUC.
Just cross promotional.
You could. Now the idea is that it starts
He's
off
just
with,
making the Piledriver Buckeye Championship, baby.
hey. It
The
starts off as a
PDPBUC.
oh my god. It starts off with a 10-minute time limit.
I got Dean. I got him.
I know you did. He's gone. Take a deep breath, Dean.
Fuck's sake.
So the idea is this. It starts off with a 10-minute time limit per match.
Yeah.
But if the champion retains in the 10-minute time limit, the next time they have to defend, the time limit gets bumped up 5 minutes. And it happens each time they retain by time limit, which creates a sense of urgency for the champion. Say it's a 15-minute time limit, because you've already gotten hit by this once, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. Real quick.
Let
me clarify.
Go for it.
I'm the champion, the
Yes.
PDPBUC. You're trying to fight me for the title.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying if the match goes to a 10-minute limit draw,
you win the match.
I win the match, but next time me and you fight, or me and anybody fight, it's a 15-minute time limit.
Mm-hmm. And then this can keep going all the way up to 60 minutes at that point, if you really want to get crazy.
Man.
But the idea is this would create so much drama in the final minutes of the match, because now the champion has to try to win. Otherwise, that time limit for the next defense is going to be 5 minutes longer. And he might not have been able to make it 25 minutes, but he was good 20 minutes. And that's where we're at right now. But I'm at 1992 and 1915 going into it. Do I go for the retention by time limit, or do I go for that pinfall? Do I go for that submission? Do I try to wrench that arm back? Creates a sense of urgency, creates a sense of drama.
We're about to make a title bout with crossed hammers on it. It's going to be Pauly's title bout.
The other idea that I had is a championship that I got this idea from Moose in Impact Wrestling, because the original idea he had for the Impact Grand Championship was that the champion would get to pick the stipulation for every title defense.
Yes, I agree with that. I would love that, actually.
I would love to see that for the Heritage Championship.
That's actually pretty dope.
I would love that.
Because, look, I agree with you. Stipulations are a fun and exciting part of professional wrestling. But it's got to mean something. You can't just go, hey, let's throw them in a tables match. Why?
I'm not saying that, and I'm not.
Why not?
Yesterday, Gino and Asher and Jimmy and Robbie, that match, that has a story. That match it was a great match. In my opinion, probably one of the best of the night. Still could have been better with a stipulation added on it.
See,
Tornado tag. Tornado tag is a stipulation, Pauly. Have them all in the ring at the same time.
We almost had that later on in the show.
I don't need blood and fucking weapons and all this shit. That's not what I'm talking about. I need something different that I don't see at every wrestling show that I go to. Because again, 90% of wrestling shows you see are singles match, maybe a female match, tag team match, maybe another singles match, championship match sprinkled in here or there. Depending on how many titles they have. But again, yesterday, in my opinion, Gino and Asher versus the winners would have been 100% better than it already was. And it was a fucking solid match if it was a tornado tag team match.
I feel like that would have been better suited to Warhorse and DD Trash in hindsight.
And that's fine too. But you know what I'm saying? Again, something like that. They broke it out, and DD Trash and Warhorse did bring out some weapons. They did hit each other with chairs a couple times. Ronnie threw a chair over the crowd, like, and hit Pat in the face. So that was cool. And that, like, again, but once the match started, that was over.
Ronnie
Yeah.
used the chair that was sitting next to me. So
Yeah, he did.
it never came back. It was just gone for the rest of the show.
Can we get a Gino and Asher versus like Warhorse and DD Trash on like a 3-way?
Like a #1 contenders match for the tag team title.
Yeah, but have a stipulation on it of some sort.
Well, that's already a
Elimination.
that's already a triple threat match. We were talking about this too because Pauly said something. What was your idea, Pauly? Because you had an idea for a triple threat tag team match as well.
So if the winners can make it to the 1-year reign, that would give OCW 3 almost consecutive year-long reigns for tag team champions. DD Trash, Warhorse, and the winners. Put them all together in a triple threat match at Tradition.
For all the gold.
Who's
And
the
Dean, a
greatest
triple-
of all time? We're going to figure this out in the ring. That's what we do.
A triple threat match is already no disqualification just by happenstance. So knowing that, I know all the wrestlers know that. If that were to go down, that's where you introduce maybe a table or a chair or two, just to, again, I'm not saying I want somebody to bleed or break their necks or, have to beat the shit out of these guys, but, gut shots over the back, just a little pain infliction. It's more exciting for the common fan, in my opinion. Who's not invested in the storyline. If you're not invested in the storyline, you're there for the action or something, or because I told you to come. Seeing somebody get hit over the head with a chair, over the back with a chair is like, you're like, oh shit.
Well, you're asking not to beat the shit out of each other, and then you're talking about having Warhorse and DD Trash in there. So that's going to be a tough row to hoe right there. Those guys beat the hell out of each other last night.
Yeah, they fought all night long.
If you can make a tag team out of the OCW roster, who would you pair up?
I would put back Chuck the Truck and Jake Ely.
I got a good one. I think it's a good one. Brian Huff and a returning Austin Blaze. I think that'd be a badass tag team.
Jesus.
Oh, that would be fire.
That would set the company on fire.
I think so too.
I love Austin Blaze.
He needs to come back. It's been a while.
That's whew.
It's tough because there's some great tag teams already in OCW.
I know.
If I was to make a tag team like in OCW, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like they wrestle for, okay, well then that's fine because I'm gonna steal two of my favorites, but they're already a tag team in another promotion. Wise guys, bitch.
Yeah.
Gino and Tommy.
Wait
Or
a minute,
the after Midnight Express.
That's
Patrick
that's
Hayes
a
and
different
Wilbur.
Tommy though. That's not Lord Thomas the Brute.
That's all right. He can pull a Mick Foley. I got faith in Tommy. He could come out and wrestle for the tag team championships as a wise guy, and then come out later in the Brute gear and defend. And nobody, just like Clark Kent, you wouldn't know.
Imagine that in the DBI. Oh yeah, I finally got Lord Thomas the Brute out. What the hell's that guy?
That would be so nuts.
Three faces of Tommy.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
And like, okay, so let's get back into it. Wilbur was not able to pull off the victory. It would be nice to see him get back into it, get another rematch of that title.
But he did not tap out, and that is the most important part.
Yes, Paulie did mention that to me yesterday. He did not tap out. Wilbur did not submit to Brandon Fields.
Good.
Which everybody has done since he won that title.
Including Wilbur in the Heritage Grand Prix a few months back, but remember that was also during the monsoon of 2023.
Yes. Then we had a nice little intermission. Wrestlers came out. DD Trash hung out. Chuck the Truck came out, messed with Paulie a little bit at ringside.
Good.
And then we jumped right back into it. After intermission, once again, started off hot. Tag team match, DD Trash versus Warhorse, which literally started insane right away. I'm talking, they didn't even get in the ring. They started brawling on the outside. Weapons, chops, chairs. They took the chair right next to Pauly. They, at one point, Pat the Bruiser was sitting in the chair, and Ron went all the way to the trailer, to the entrance trailer, and took off running all the way down the entrance ramp, Dean, around the ring to cannonball onto Pat the Bruiser right in front of us. It was awesome.
That's
it was
funny.
awesome. I had to cut the video down for the TikTok, but I'll send you the whole video. Like, it's like 9 seconds long, and he's just
getting it.
I was convinced that Crosshairs Kelly was going to stop him with a clothesline, and
so was I. I thought, because Kelly was knocked out, like, down on the one side of the ring. Like, we're sitting on this side of the ring across from where Pauly normally sits. We're sitting, like, opposite where Pauly would sit. And Kelly was knocked down on the floor in front of us. And Ron came running this way, and I was like, oh, shit, he's going to run. And Kelly's going to, like, catch himself and get up and see him running and just take him out. Did not happen. Kelly was pretty knocked out. I mean, it was a great match. Favorite matches, best matches of the night for the tag team matches.
I had a feeling that would have been, because, I mean, every time Warhorse and DD Trash go at it, this rivalry has been wonderful.
Dude, at one point, Ron dropped one of the most beautiful elbows I've probably ever seen. He threw a moonsault he laid out gorgeously. And then he tried to pick up Pat the Bruiser, unable to pick up Pat the Bruiser. He did pick up Crosshairs Kelly, though, and had Crosshairs Kelly on the shoulders, who, if you know Kelly, he's not a small man to have up on your shoulders.
He's also not ugly, and yet, for some reason, Bruce kept calling him the ugly one.
He said, you get the big one, I'll get the ugly one. And they were talking about Pat and Kelly.
Are you saying that he's handsome, Pauly?
He said Pat the Bruiser was handsome.
I think Crosshairs Kelly could be like a model.
I can see it.
He's got good looks.
At one point, Dean.
Of course, he's gonna have a lot of scars. He keeps going up against DD Trash.
That's true. At one point, Dean, Pat the Bruiser had Bruce Gray right in front of us, choking him out on the rail, and Bruce was trying to make the hot tag to Pauly. I have videos of that as well. He help me, Pauly, hot tag.
Pauly, would you have gotten in there?
I did make the tag, actually, so I guess I was supposed to whip Pat the Bruiser's ass.
Why didn't you do it?
Not come to the aid of DD Trash.
Wow.
Well, Ronnie was coming up from the left side, so it wasn't like he needed. He had his back.
If you were to get in there and help, like you should have, what would your go-to move be?
What's your go-to move?
What would you do
against Crosshairs Kelly?
What do you hit? What do you? You're chop blocking him?
Chop block.
Ric Flair style, baby.
And then what? You going for a submission, or you just running away?
Of course not. I'm not strong enough to. What am I going to do? I'm going to flip Pat the Bruiser over.
Figure four, baby.
Stupid.
Figure four.
I will say, whenever I play a wrestling video game, my target is always the legs, because if you can't stand, you can't run, you can't walk, you can't do nothing.
Exactly. Great match by Kelly and Warhorse and DD Trash. It got to the point, like I said, it was basically just a raucous mess the whole time. But it got to the point where referee Keith Smith lost control. Both of these men, or all four of these men, got to battling outside of the ring, and they started battling towards the entranceway in, and Keith just had to count them out. He just had to count them out, man. So double count out. We're clearly going to see this again. I'm not upset with it at all. Like I said, probably the best match of the night.
It was absolutely fun. And I am definitely curious to see which one of these two teams can come out of this battle as the greatest tag team in OCW history. Because whoever does come out of this, the winners are going to be circling like sharks smelling blood.
Oh, yeah. Paul, if you could take a doomsday device from Warhorse or DD Trash, who would you rather take it from?
I wouldn't take it from anybody. What am I, stupid?
You gotta pick one.
Hypothetical where that happens. There's no hypothetical where I end up on either Pat the Bruiser's shoulders or
you'd be on Crosshair Kelly's shoulders, and Pat the Bruiser would be giving you off the rope.
No, Crosshairs would come off the top rope.
No, I'd have Pat do it. That'd be better.
Why are we trying to hurt me? I am a good person.
That's just like if me and Mike were to give you a doomsday device, like we've been telling you for years.
I'm picking you up.
You'd be on Mike's shoulders. I'm coming off the top rope hot.
And I'm ducking.
Coming in. Yeet. Yeet.
Yeet.
I'm gonna end
No.
up clotheslining Mike.
I probably would.
After this double count out, let's get on to Pauly's favorite match of the night. We had a little grudge match. Chuck the Truck Morris versus the former Thunderweight champion, Jake Ely.
How much does he pay you to say that
Caw-caw.
every time?
Caw-caw. Nope, nothing. It's free. It's
My
free.
God.
That's how I root for the folks I love. You haven't noticed this by now?
He's got a
Yes.
summer house at Thunderberg in Thunderberg.
I know.
Yeah, I got a summer house in Thunderberg, baby.
You're a little fangirl for the Thunderbird. Caw.
Yeah, that's right. Say it again. Say it again.
Caw.
That's right, baby.
Caw-caw.
That's right. Great match between Jake and Chuck. I mean, Chuck dominated for most of this match. I thought it was just going to be another Jake Ely, getting smashed, and it basically was. It was, and Jake got some good moves in though. Jake was able to turn it around a little bit, and then I forget he got him with a thunder kick. I don't think he caught him all the way on the chin. It looked like he got him like a low thunder kick, kind of like a midsection.
Okay.
And then when Chuck was down, Jake covered him. 1, 2, 3, baby. End of story.
Okay, so you're going to sit there with a straight face and say that Jake beat him 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Jake did beat him 1, 2, 3.
Oh, he did beat him 1, 2, 3. However, I want to give credit to Jake Ely for being the most agile and limber person on the entire OCW roster.
Hey,
Because
Pauly.
this man scaled the ropes with his feet from a supine position, which is
That's-
very difficult if you've ever tried this.
Did
Have
he
you
win?
ever tried to scale the ropes with both feet, laying
Did he
on
win?
top of somebody to cheat and get a pinfall victory?
Did he win?
Normally they only get to the second rope. He actually made it all
Did
the
he
way to
win,
the
though?
top, which is amazing.
He did climb all the way to the top rope. Do you want to see? He was like on
Nuts.
the...
If he had climbed any further, he'd have been up in heaven doing Thunderbird stuff and cawing with God.
winner.
Winners.
I will say the match itself, and I think I mentioned this to you, Mike, at the show, it felt like Big Brother and Little Brother.
Yeah.
Big Brother's got to put Little Brother in his place because he's getting a little bit too big for his britches.
Yeah,
And
Chuck
Little
was
Brother's
chasing him around. Chuck was chasing him around and stuff. And it looked like, just like Paulie said, like it looked Big Brother, Little Brother-esque. And it was funny.
It was funny.
I mean, I was kind of hoping for more of a offensive output from Jake the Thunderbird. But again, when it mattered most, he picked up the win.
It's an
all that
interesting
matters.
story because what's the one thing that Chuck the Truck Morris has yet to accomplish in OCW?
I don't know. You're our OCW historian. Tell me, Paulie.
He's never won the heavyweight championship. It's the one championship that's
Not
eluded
one?
him his entire career. And he had a chance against one of the longest reigning Thunderweight OCW heavyweight champions in history, and he fell to a sneaky pin.
What happened? That's what happened.
Snaky pin.
You almost wonder-
Isn't Chuck the Truck Morris the PWP Pro Wrestling Champion right now, heavyweight champ, I believe. The Power Slam Pro Wrestling, I believe he's their heavyweight champion
I
currently.
think he is too.
I believe so.
So it's just
But in OCW, he still hasn't accomplished that feat, and that's kind of the story I think here is that he's gotten close. He's been able to touch greatness in the OCW Heavyweight Championship, but not win.
doing the show.
Let's see here. Was there any other matches that I'm thinking? I can't remember it now. I'm trying to think.
We got
Well,
one
the
more,
main
baby.
event.
Oh yeah,
Doing the show.
It's happening live in the middle of the show.
yeah. We hear all of that.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Zoe texted me. I'm trying to. She called in. That's what happened.
Slamzilla.
She hates it when you call her that, Paul.
I know she does, but she's
We're
gonna
gonna have to
love
get.
it at some point.
We're gonna have to get it. We're gonna have to get her a jersey made.
Something.
Piledriver on the front, Slamzilla on the back.
Oh, like a PDP logo, like a white
Yep,
jersey
like-
with black pinstripes,
That'd be
and the
hot.
PDP logo 76 Slamzilla. Oh!
That would be hot.
Yeah. So the last match of the night, we had Lord Thomas the Brute defending the heavyweight championship against the debuting Patrick Hayes, who, I mean, if you're familiar with Patrick Hayes, he did what Patrick Hayes does. He looked great coming out. He talked some smack. He talked shit during the match that was good. I mean, Patrick Hayes is good. I love everything that he does. He's a great bad guy. I've never got to see him play the good guy role, so I don't know how that works, but he's a great bad guy. He had his girlfriend's jacket on again. His entrance music is probably one of my favorites at the time. The Jeremiah I'm a Star, that shit's hot. He's good. He's good, but again, he tried to do some dumb things that you don't do, and he was unfamiliar with OCW, like test of strength with Lord Thomas the Brute. That's not something a smart person does.
You don't do that.
So it went good, and he at one point got a lot of us. He got a lot of the fans. Lord Thomas the Brute threw him out of the ring, and it looked like he landed funky, and he faked an injury. And to the point where Glenn Lane and referee Mike and referee Keith had picked him up and basically carried him to the entrance ramp and was carrying him out because he was done.
It was like that?
Yep.
Jesus.
I was 50-50 on it too, because I saw him land. It looked funky on his knee, but again, I don't know. And Lord Thomas the Brute, kind of grabbed his stuff and like followed Keith and them, like, come on, let him, he's fine. And they're telling him the whole time he's not. They get him out halfway. Lord Thomas turns around to say sorry to the fans. And here comes Patrick Hayes running right up behind him to attack him. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. So, I mean, and it was good. In that point, he took the advantage and kind of, got some offensive moves in against the Brute, but it wasn't enough to win him the title. Brute comes in, gives him the big power slam to end it. And then.
No, it was because of that. That's the problem,
right.
Because Patrick Hayes was getting ready to go for the frog splash. And for whatever reason, out of the back comes DD Trash and Warhorse. Ron Mathis has got a chair wrapped around his head, presumably from the fight and the battle that's been going on for the entirety of the show since that match had ended, because they came down. That distracted Patrick Hayes. That allowed the Brute to come up right underneath of him. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, with power slam. 1, 2, 3, and still your OCW heavyweight champion.
And then
all
hell broke loose. Everybody came out, Dean. The whole locker room dispersed for a giant brawl, and it was phenomenal.
In fact,
I wish I was there to see that one.
I just thought about something, because Jake Ely had a spot that reminded me of Mo Sizlak in The Simpsons. Have you ever seen the episode where the entire town is fighting somebody?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Mo gets squared up with Dredrick Tatum, and he's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
That was his moment. And I think he was up against, I think it was actually Tommy.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, Jesus.
I mean, I would want to meet Tommy in a back alley anywhere late at night.
The greatest.
So overall, Pauly, what do you give OCW Beach Bash 4?
I give it a solid 3 out of 5. It was a good show, but like you said, it missed something. It needed a little bit something more. I don't know what that is. And it might have just simply been because our main event really didn't have a whole lot of story behind it. No offense to Patrick Hayes, but I'm not invested in him potentially winning the championship simply because I don't know who he is. I've personally seen him a couple times, but the average OCW fan has probably never seen him.
Yeah.
I can
I
get
agree.
that. I get that.
I'm gonna give it. I'm probably right there with Paulie. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. It was good. I was not
Had
mad.
fun.
I felt like I got my money's worth out of my event. You know, I was
Absolutely.
entertained. I just, again, if I would have got maybe the winners versus Asher and Gino in a tornado, you know what I'm saying? A little bit, something more. Again, I wanted a little more.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just the thing with OCW right now, is that they're trying to give you a taste so that you come back wanting more.
Which
And
is
to be
fine.
fair, that's where we're at. I want to see Wilbur Whitlock and Brandon Fields again.
No,
I
I
want to
agree.
see DD Trash and Warhas again. I want to see Asher and Gino versus the winners again. And God help me, I want to see Jake and Chuck again, because I think those two are the never-ending battle of all battles. And I think it would be
Yeah,
almost,
especially if you know their history together.
oh God, yes. And I think it would be comical if the person that Chuck wins the heavyweight championship from for the first time is Jake.
Okay.
It would be a cool little, nice little bow on their story.
Well, I do know, and we'll let everybody know that OCW is taking the month of September off to get some ducks in order. They will be back in October with an event we do not know the name of yet. And then we do know that the annual DBI will be in November. So pretty pumped for that. Was that DBI 11, correct, Paulie?
11, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, OCW still coming in hot. Like I said, they're taking off the month of September to get some ducks in a row. We'll be sure to let everybody know where you can find your favorite OCW superstars in the meantime. We got a couple things to talk about Mega.
Yes, sir.
Something about Neo. So let's get into Mega real quick. We did have a match announcement. We're
Yes,
back
sir.
to business.
Back to business. You want to let the people know what it was?
I believe currently we have 2 matches, right?
Yes.
One of which is a pre-show match, and probably the match that I'm most excited for. Chris Onyx going one-on-one with Mucho Machismo for the Brass Knuckles Championship.
Yes, sir. That's gonna be a banger.
We
actually have 4 matches total.
Ooh,
There's 4
okay.
matches total. Aaron Alloway and Nick Nero. We mentioned that one as well.
That's right. We did announce that. I forgot about Aaron Alloway and Nick Nero.
And then we had Alex Daniels and Jason Kincaid, which is going to
that's
Kincaid
correct. That's
can
right.
go.
Because
Paulie, have you ever seen Jason Kincaid?
I have not.
You need to come to that one. You'd like him a lot. You'd like him a lot.
Would be definitely something to do.
You'd like him a lot. He's very technical, Paulie. He's good. Him and Alex Daniels is going to be fucking phenomenal.
This is a regular singles match. And then there's an announcement, tag team match for the Mega Championship tag team champions. PME will be defending their title against Faith and Nothing, Vincent Nothing, and RSP, Ricky Shane Page. Holy shit.
There's still an Infinity Championship that could be up for grabs. There's still a heavyweight championship that could be up for grabs that we don't know opponents yet.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
there's been hints. There's been promos sent out that were recorded throughout Lake County Kansas Stadium.
I saw a promo today that made it seem like the good one wanted a title shot.
You seen that? We talked about that last episode.
Well, the last one was them and Cash Inc. saying they were the best tag. Like, who was the best tag team?
No, but I mentioned last episode that he grabbed Bryce's title.
Oh yes, that's right.
You just now watched it though. Yeah, I want.
Yeah.
So
no, there was another one. There was another one Bryson posted today about breaking fingers and about he was going to have to maybe break some fingers so Pastor CeeLo wouldn't be able to hold his collection plate.
Are we getting Pastor CeeLo versus Bryson Teller, and then the Mega Church taking on Cash Inc?
It very well could be. It very well could be. I mean, who knows? It's phenomenal. We'll keep everybody informed on Mega, everything going on Mega. And then we did have a new announcement for NeoPro. One part of which we already knew a little bit of. It was announced last time we said, but now we have a little bit more information. Beastman is suspended for his actions last event.
Jaxie Black will be present at Set the Standard to fill everybody in with what's going on with Beastman and so on and so forth. So while Beastman may not be present September 30th, she will be, and she will address the
Jaxie Black
situation.
will be in the building to address the situation.
She will.
I'm just gonna
She will
throw
speak
this-
on the future of Beastman in Neo Pro Wrestling. So stay tuned with that.
Let me just throw something at you here. Do you genuinely believe that Jaxie Black is going to show up at NeoPro
Yes.
and just talk about a suspension that she obviously is against? I wouldn't trust Jaxie Black at all. I think this sounds like a setup and an ulterior motive of some sort.
Think so?
I think this could be something even bigger and 10 times worse than Beastman.
It very well could be. We don't know.
I mean,
It's-
she's been known to hang out with some nefarious characters.
That's all she hangs out with. Like, that's it. That's all she's got.
I guess you're
You
gonna have to
find
get
the bad side of the tracks, that's probably where she's at, and she's got a whole group of friends ready to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
set the standard is going to be wild. There is less than 20 VIP tickets left. Go grab tickets as fast as you can because VIP
Oh,
is selling out
we're
super
locked
fast.
We're
And
locked in.
I'm talking. Well, the listeners need to go grab them quick. There's only 20 left. They know we're good. We're there. They have a raffle going on the page right now. 5 general admission tickets and a PlayStation VR2 system. $30 a number.
Is it how much is it? $30?
$30.
Yeah, that's not. You get
Phil-
what? 5 tickets?
5 tickets. If you already got set the standard tickets, they said you can use those tickets that you get in the raffle for a cent.
For the next event.
Yes. So
Great
Get-
deal.
get on that.
Get over to NeoPro Facebook and check that out. Get in that raffle, waffle, whatever they're calling it these days, because you're not allowed to call it certain things, I guess.
The Ascent show is where they're going to crown the brand new first time ever Neo Pro Wrestling.
yes.
100%, 100% correct. Yes,
The
sir.
winner of the 2 Fatal 4-Way Eliminator title championship matches will face each other at Ascent for the title.
I
So-
guess it's not my place to ask this, but I have to ask this. Have you guys made picks on who you think is going to win those 2 4-way matches?
Not
to
yet,
set
'cause
up
we
that
don't
big
know
championship
how
match?
the
We
4
don't-
are set up yet.
Yeah,
We
don't
know who the
We
8
just have
people are. We just don't know.
we just have the 8
who's in.
competitors. We don't know who's going to be in what matches.
Yes.
Okay, so who of the 2 would you like to? Who are the 2 that you'd like to see lock horns for the first time Neo Pro Championship? Because that's going to be a huge moment in the company's history. You're only what 4 shows in, and you have a chance to crown your first championship with a star-studded cast. I mean, I've seen Dominic Guarini is in this.
Dominic
Bryson
Guarini.
Teller, Andrew Palace, Patrick Hayes, Christian Napier, Wilbur Whitlock, Dominic Guarini, Justin Main, and Alex Daniels.
It's almost interesting the names that are on the outside looking into that too.
Oh, I agree. Well, Ashton Day he said he cut his promo and said he took his name out of the tournament because he's issued a challenge against Jimmy Shane. Hope if Jimmy Shane can find a partner at Set the Standard, it will be Ashton Day and the franchise Shane Douglas versus Jimmy Shane and a partner of his choosing.
So if Jimmy can't find a partner, is it a 2-on-1 handicap match?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Jimmy better get on the phone quick then, because he's going to be the partner.
So, but no, I agree. If I had to pick between, because again, we don't know. If I had to absolutely pick my final 2, because I know they can both wrestle real well, Justin Main and Christian Napier.
Oh, that's a banger. What if it was Wilbur and Patrick?
I was just thinking that. That
What
was the one I was going to suggest.
Justin
Because
Main
Patrick
and
is
Alex
absolutely-
Daniels would be a banger just as well.
Christian and Alex Daniels, they're fighting at Mega.
Christian against any of these 7 guys would be a banger.
I agree.
All 8 can
Hey,
easily win this, and I would be happy with any of them.
Bryson Teller versus Andrew Palace.
Banger. I want to see Patrick Hayes versus Dominic Guarini.
Yeah.
I don't think Patrick Hayes wants to see that.
Christian
so much
versus
to
Wilbur.
go with. But yeah, if I had to pick my 2, it would be Justin Main finals. Justin Main versus Christian Napier.
Someone's gonna get
That
that
is a
sexy
great
ass
match.
title, and I can't wait to see who it is. That's a beautiful title.
It is. That one. Whoever made it did a hell of a job. Let's put it that
No,
way.
I
Yes,
agree.
sir. Yes, sir. So we got that going on. Jexy is going to be there to address the situation with Beastman. We'll find out what's going on with Ashton and Shane Douglas versus Jimmy Shane, and we'll see if he finds a
Whoever.
partner. Yeah. We also have Studio 86 versus DD Trash that was announced, which is going to be a banger as well.
That's Ron Mathis's Pure Trash Ron Mathis debut in Neo Pro Wrestling. So
He's gonna love NeoPro.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he is.
We also got
That crowd is gonna love him.
Oh, they're gonna love him for sure. They're gonna love DD Trash in general. Because Studio 86 gets a lot of heat. So, but they're good. I
They're
became
from Michigan.
I know, but they're good though. They're entertaining. They're a solid tag team.
You want to be bad guys in Ohio? All you got to do is be from Michigan.
Izzy Lambert versus Bray McKenzie is going to be going down. Nurse Mika versus Angel Metro is going to be a banger. So there's still a lot more to come. September 30th, Neo Pro set the standard. Get your tickets as quick as you can.
They're gonna sell out.
They haven't even been on sale a full week yet, and VIPs there's less than 20 left. So get your shit. Go buy the tickets. Get in that waffle. We'll call it a waffle. You can get a PlayStation VR 2 and 5 general admission tickets. Do it.
Oh yeah, that's you can't.
Yeah.
You got to get that. That's a hell of a deal. I already got a VR, so I can't do it right now.
I got an Oculus too, but $30. We'll figure it out. So that's it for Neo Pro. Absolute Intense Wrestling. AIW has some stuff going on. Wrestle Rager 7's coming on Saturday, August 26th. That's going to be Detroit Avenue in Cleveland. Standing room only. Grab your tickets for that. If you've never been to a Wrestle Rager, the name speaks for itself. There's some matches going down there. And then after that, they got the JT Lightning tournament coming up. It's a 2-night event. And in between the 2 nights,
there's some names in that bad boy.
Yes, there is. They have another one after night 1. The next day, before night 2 starts off, they're going to have Fresh Meat 3 is what they call it, and it's kind of like highlighting the rookie class, some of the newer guys coming into the AIW locker room. So that's going to be a good one. Get your tickets to that.
I mean,
as far as wrestling in Northeast Ohio, that's really about it. But
every time we've been to an AIW event, we've had a fucking blast. I mean, every time we've been to any event, we've had a blast. I'm not trying to put down any promotion right now because I've never Neo Pro, Mega, AIW, OCW,
Circle 6, we've been them all.
Circle 6. We're trying to make our way. I know Don Tavio is going to listen and he's going to tell us that we need to get down to A2W.
Yes.
And we're gonna come. We're gonna make it. We're trying to make a wrestling revolver as well. Pauly, you're gonna have to come with us to one of those because it's gonna be down in Dayton, but it's totally well worth it.
Yeah. Well, the October 8th. Bro.
Yeah.
It's like they got 2 events going down that day. They have I'm trying to think what it's called. It's a women's Grand Prix, basically. Yeah, the Revolver Women's Grand Prix. That's what it is. It's a tournament for women. There's a bunch of entrants going there. It's earlier in the day. It starts at 3 p.m. I don't think we'll be able to make that one.
No.
But the show following it is going to be insane.
100%. This card is so fucking stacked, it's ridiculous.
So stacked.
But I think Pauly, since Pauly comes on the show, and when he comes on the show, normally he's got questions for us. And I think it's time for Pauly's Ponderings.
Yeah.
Alrighty, boys. So I've been looking around on social media, and there's been a lot of back and forth about this. The Undertaker claims that at one point he was going to have a program with Andre the Giant.
Okay.
But who would win that match?
Where's the match taking place?
The match is taking place in Madison Square Garden in 1991.
Andre the Giant who?
Hold on.
Original Taker.
Hold on.
Versus Andre the Giant towards the end of his run.
What's the name of the event? Is it a Raw or is it?
It's not a WrestleMania. It's not a WrestleMania.
Then Andre the Giant wins.
We'll make it SummerSlam.
Andre the Giant.
Taker wins.
early 90s before Taker got big, he wouldn't have won that. They'd have put Andre the Giant over, but Taker would have lost respectively. Like he'd have lost, but he wouldn't have got smashed. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't have got beat up like Andre beat up everybody else. He would have put up a good fight against Andre and like pushed him to the brink. And then everybody like it would have been like was it John? No, it was Jeff Hardy. It was Jeff Hardy. Undertaker, Jeff Hardy. You got my respect, kid. That thing, it would have been that between Undertaker and Andre the Giant.
I'm taking Taker still.
That's fine. I respect it.
Original Deadman was unstoppable.
I agree. So,
Even
Pauly,
beat Hulk Hogan.
for Wrestling Revolver Redemption is what they're calling it. And so we're going to try to go. They got the Rascals versus the Death Dolls and a mystery partner. So that's good.
That's fantastic.
Who you taking? Pauly?
Yeah, who you taking with that?
In
Taker?
the Andre the Giant Undertaker battle, it's tough because part of me wants to say Andre, but at the time that Undertaker and Andre the Giant would have crossed paths, Andre was definitely beaten up. He would have been towards the knees and all that stuff, starting to really give him trouble. Plus, the Undertaker at that time was presented as an indestructible force that just kept going forward, and you were not stopping him.
Yeah.
That's why I
Part of me wonders if it would have been a double disqualification type situation. If they had actually met, I don't know that there would have been a decisive winner.
Or like a double count out.
That would have been a good way. That would have been a good way to protect Andre and still put over Taker.
But if you're asking me to pick one of the two, Undertaker. It would have been the biggest win of his career at that point. It would have solidified his status as a top guy. And especially if that came a little bit after the Hogan championship victory.
Okay. I mean, I'll give it to you. It's not a bad pick, and that was a great question.
That was a great question. Every time Pauly does this, it's always a great question. It's always shit that makes me like.
I have a top 5, and this one is, I don't want to. It's geared towards Pauly, I'll say, because for those who don't know, we did mention it. I did mention it on the podcast last week, I believe. Pauly has recently accomplished a big feat in his life. He has seen all 30 baseball teams. He's seen every baseball team that plays. He's seen them play live. Correct?
Yes.
So today for our top 5, we are going to pick our 5 favorite baseball players.
Oh, geez.
Of all time?
Your top, yes, of all time. And okay. I'll even let you go first, Pauly.
Well, that's pretty simple. I have been a baseball fan my entire life. That means the 90s was hot and heavy for me. There's one man that I would say stands out from the 90s in Major League Baseball, and that's Ken Griffey Jr.
You son of a bitch.
Well, you should have known that's who he was going with. That's who, I mean, that's.
I was hoping he wouldn't do it, though.
Junior.
I feel like I have to do this for the rest of the show now.
Go ahead, Dean.
Pay homage.
Go ahead, Dean. I'll let you go. I don't think he'll take mine. He might, but I don't think he will.
I'm going to get a lot of heat for this.
Oh, boy.
Barry Bonds.
No, that's not heat. We're not heating.
All right, good. I don't know how you guys feel about him.
San Francisco or Pittsburgh?
San Francisco. Fuck Pittsburgh.
I'll give you Pittsburgh Bonds, but San Francisco Bonds was clearly on steroids.
Pittsburgh Bonds can fuck off. Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit?
I'm going to use my number 1 pick, and I'm going to pick my favorite Cleveland Indian, Kenny Lofton.
That's a good one.
That's a hell of a pick.
Pauly, number 2.
This is tough because there's so many.
I know that's why I figured it wouldn't be like we're not going to steal a bunch of each other's picks.
Well, you can. Well,
I will give respect to arguably the greatest Cleveland pitcher of all time,
Charles Nagy.
Who?
Charles Nagy.
That's all I heard was Charles Nagy, said Bob Feller.
Never Charles Nagy. couldn't do
Oral
anything except
Hershiser, baby.
throw it right down the middle in 1997. Come on. At least bounce that damn thing.
All right, D, number 2. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Indians. Jim Thome.
Jim Thome. Good old Jim Thome. I love Jim Thome too. All right. I'm going to go with one of my favorite pitchers at number 2. We all saw this man once kill a bird
Oh, God.
in mid-flight. The big unit, Randy Johnson.
That's a good one.
Arguably the best left-handed pitcher I've ever seen in my life. That
I
dude,
used to love watching him pitch, dude. And again, I'm not. Pauly's the pitcher guy. I want to see fucking home runs, dude.
Yeah,
But Randy Johnson was a fucking machine.
he really was.
like that dude, when he went to New York and played for the Yankees, I
Fuck the
cried.
Yankees.
That was terrible. Yes.
Get
You
it
guys
in,
ever gonna
Pauly.
sponsor my segment on the show that I have? I've been teasing that for 13 weeks.
Yes, he is.
Give me
Yes.
a penny or $1 or something. We can
We
make
got
this
you.
happen.
All right, Pauly, pick number 3.
Okay. I'm going to go a little bit controversial because I did just say, fuck the Yankees. But this has to be a Yankee.
He's
And
going
it
to
has
pick
to
you.
be
The
the
captain.
greatest closer of all time, Mariano.
Mariano Rivera. Good pick.
Fuck
Good
him.
pick. Fuck him.
But also, yeah, for the brand.
Dean?
My favorite pitcher. Well, one of them. I'm gonna go with Pedro Martinez,
Great pick.
I guess I
especially
picked
since we're talking about fuck the Yankees.
I
feel
picked
like
a
it's
pitcher-
fitting.
I picked a pitcher too early, huh?
Yeah,
All
You could
right.
draft a whole team.
That's fine. I'm gonna switch gears here, and we're gonna go back to Dean's I think it was his 2nd round pick, and we're gonna take it back to the steroid era. And one of the main reasons that I started loving baseball as a kid was the home run race, baby. Mark fucking McGuire. Mark McGuire
I can't deny that was
made
a huge
whole
part of baseball.
generation of kids interested in baseball again.
I
So
can't
yeah,
deny
that's my 3rd. Mark McGuire.
that's a good one.
All right, so I'm on 4.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr.
Mr. 3000 himself.
Absolutely. Can you
Um,
imagine putting your body through that? Oh my God.
Cal Ripken was a beast, and he was old as shit when he retired.
Dude, they said that the current active leader would have to play for 20 years
Yeah.
to even come close to the record.
Yeah.
It's the only record that I can think of in
That'll
any
never get
sport.
broken.
It really may never get touched.
it probably won't. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
Deserves
I'm
a
gonna-
better baseball card in MLB The Show, by the way.
It's probably not a popular pick, but it was a favorite of mine. I grew up in the '90s, just like me and you, all of us did. He was a former Indian as well. David Justice has always been one of my favorites, even when he was in Atlanta.
That
I
was
love
Dean's
Dave.
favorite. When I first met Dean, Dean had a fucking David Justice jersey he used to wear all the time.
Fucking
I love
Dave
the fact
Justice.
that we couldn't beat the 95 Braves, so we went and signed the 2 biggest pieces of their starting lineup. We're just like, well, we couldn't beat him. Join us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we still couldn't win them.
No,
All right.
because you weren't
Pick-
beating the 95 Braves. That team was the murderer's row of pitching.
Pick number 4 for me. I'm going to switch it up again, and I'm going to pick a current player
All right.
because he is arguably the second coming of Babe fucking Ruth. Shohei Ohtani.
It's a damn good
Good
pick.
pick.
He
Good
can
pick.
strike you out and then hit a home run off your ass. He's one of like I said, the second coming of Babe Ruth, in my opinion.
I argue that he is the greatest player that we will ever see.
I agree with you. I will
He's-
agree with that statement.
He's so good.
He's
so
so
good.
good.
You know what? There's not a lot of players that like I'm a huge fan of, like I was with '90s players.
Shohei is it.
From like 2000 forward, like this newer generation of baseball. There's really not a lot of names that
Yeah.
I've been huge fans of. There's not. I don't know if it comes down to how MLB
That's like
promotes
like
the business nowadays. I don't
No,
know.
I
It's
agree.
just they do a shit job at it.
Yes.
Like even
But-
the big names though, even the big names don't get a lot of like what's the Angel Mike Trout.
There's just no star power like there used to be. I don't know. It's
Exactly.
just
The problem is it's a lot of heavily commercialized, sanitized interviews. And what worked in the 90s was that those interviews were raw and uncut.
yeah.
When you over sanitize something, yeah, it's clean, but you can only sanitize it so much before it's just overkill.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good
Fifth-
one. Pauly, you get an
fifth pick.
honorable
Yep.
honorable mention and then your fifth and final pick.
All right, this is going to be tough because I do want to pay respect to the past while also pushing it forward to the present. I'm going to go with my honorable mention first.
Okay.
LA Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw.
I thought he was gonna say Mookie Betts.
No, because Mookie's been too far around. Like he played in Boston and he was
Yeah.
great in Boston. I like Mookie, but man, I listening to Vin Scully call a Clayton Kershaw game is just there's something comforting about that.
Okay.
And he is quite simply one of the best left-handed pitchers today or ever. I genuinely think if you took Clayton Kershaw out of this era and plopped him into another era, he still flourishes. Maybe even more so because he wouldn't have had to deal with as much of the analytics as today's players do.
I agree.
Okay. And pick number 5.
I guess for me, I should probably represent the land. I should represent Cleveland. And I should represent one of the best to ever do it. So that's number 14, Larry Doby.
Oral Hershiser.
It can't always be Oral Hershiser.
Carl Fire.
Good pick. Good pick by Doby. A good pick on Doby.
I'm going Cleveland with my honorable mention and my fifth pick.
Okay.
Both some scrappers. My honorable mention will be Jose Ramirez. He's probably the most current one that I've always loved.
Did you see real quick? Did you see when Miggy they came and they gave him the guitar? And Miggy
Jose's
was
like, no.
You see, if this were a different time, Jose's walk-up music would be LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out."
Yeah.
Everybody's sensitive nowadays.
And your fifth and final pick.
Albert fucking Bell.
Good pick.
Joey.
Good pick.
I
Good
kind of
pick.
want to do Manny Ramirez too.
I was gonna say I thought you were gonna pick Manny because he just got inducted in our Hall of Fame too.
And he says the house that he built, which was like, did you know?
No, he didn't.
I know he didn't.
He made it exciting in that particular house,
hell
but
yeah.
he didn't build any part of it.
That dude
So
needs to. Side note, he needs to shave his fucking head or do something because just accept it, dude. Your braids with the balding on top, like it looks dumb. You look dumb.
So for my honorable mention and my fifth pick, I am going to pick international players. Both of which I liked watching when I was young. I liked watching a lot. My honorable mention, I believe he played for the Dodgers. I can't remember. And Paulie, you'll know who I'm talking about as soon as I say his name because I might butcher it. Hideo Nomo.
Yes.
He had the best
craziest
fucking
wind-up.
He had the best wind-up ever, dude.
I used to imitate it all the time.
And then my fifth and final pick, I'm going to take Paulie's first pick and pick his best fucking friend, Ichiro Suzuki.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one.
Ichiro Suzuki was fucking phenomenal to watch play along with Ken Griffey Jr. They made the Mariners in the 90s.
I agree.
Two guys to watch right now in the current crop of talent. Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez, and Cincinnati Reds, Ellie De La Cruz.
Yes.
These two guys
Ellie's
are the
nasty.
closest. These two guys are the closest we've gotten to Griffey in a long time. They play the game for fun.
Yes.
And that's what I think a lot of players are missing. They've made it work.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's not work. You're playing a game.
Ellie De La Cruz, I can speak. I've watched him play. He's good. That's the dude that stole every base, ain't it?
It's really hard not to like the
Pretty
Reds.
much, yeah.
He
Yeah,
stole
he's-
every base that where he stole second, third at home.
in the same at bat. It happened like 4 times in the history of baseball. It's ungodly. He just had a little league inside the park home run because he just kept running. He head up, knew where the ball was. Oh man, it got past the third baseman. Off I go.
Yep.
Didn't even stop. I love Ellie.
So yeah,
It's really hard not to like the Reds.
good top 5.
Yes.
That was a good
that was
top
fun.
5, guys.
That was fun.
That was good.
So,
One more thing I want to ask you guys before we get out of here. The Golden Vampire GTS. Mike, do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't see it.
Oh boy. Yeah, that was rough.
CM Punk showed up in a Golden Vampire outfit, attacked Samoa Joe on Collision, picked him up, and probably gave him the saddest GTS I've ever seen in my life. He struggled. The knees were shaking while he was holding him. It was really bad. But he ripped the thing off, spit his gum out, grabbed a mic, got in Samoa Joe's face, said, "I accept, bitch," and then threw the mic.
I am really excited for All In.
I am
Wembley
too.
Stadium.
Can we get together and watch this?
I'm down.
Well, it's at noon.
Oh,
So
that's right, because it's at Wembley.
yeah, that credit to AEW. They sold Wembley Stadium almost completely out. 80,000+. It's the largest attended event in professional wrestling, other than the events in Korea that WCW ran, which were mandatory attendance.
Yeah,
so I don't really think that
I just watched something on that.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Too
It was
Cool
a great one.
Scorpio was on there.
Yep.
Okay.
Threatened to kill Scott Norton, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. But man, this is a company that's only, what, 4 years old at this point? And at one point was running empty arena shows during the pandemic. You survive all of that and come out the other side selling out Wembley Stadium, 80,000+. That is ungodly.
Can I say that I like Collision more than Dynamite?
A lot of people are saying that, actually.
And I love Bullet Club Gold, bro. I love it.
Oh, you're part of the Bang Bang Gang?
They are so entertaining. They are so entertaining.
On another note, it is wrestling related. I want to talk to you. Either one of you guys have stars.
Yeah.
Have you watched Heels, Dean? I haven't watched any of season 2 yet because my ADHD won't allow me to get left on a cliffhanger, so I have to wait for the whole season to come out and then I'll binge watch the whole fucking thing. But so I rewatched season 1, and if you haven't seen,
I haven't even watched season 1 yet. I
It's
watched
good.
1 episode.
It's a
never went back
good
to it.
show. So, but anyways, that's it. Let's get out of here. Make sure you head over to believelandmedia.com LLC and check out all the stuff, all the podcasts, Pauly's Double Play CLE, Brown and Orange Weekly, all things Cavaliers, Guardians of the CLE, everything we got to offer. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you follow us.
Yes, follow us.
I need follows on TikTok so we can go live. People want me to go live. They're asking me for videos of matches. In my DMs, they're asking me for videos of matches. Follow me on TikTok and I can go live and you can watch the match.
And we are 181 away from 1,000 followers on Twitter too, or X. Give us a follow. Help us get to 1,000. We're almost there. Follow us on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, all the other stuff. We got it. Yeah, we love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Northeast Ohio wrestling fan. You know what it is.
Acknowledge your Ohio chief.
Yes. We have a screenshot that and send it to him.
No, Pauly. The Ohio chief, not the tribal chief.
The Ohio.
Who's that?
Brandon fucking Xavier.
Oh, fair enough.
Exactly. So make sure you get over, follow us, check us out. Everything. Shoot us a like, shoot us some comments, shoot us some feedback, positive or negative. We don't care.
Yeah.
I want to hear it anyways. If you think we can be better, tell me how we can be better. Pauly, as always, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Shout out to MEGA NEOPro, everybody, OCW, all the local promotions that have been killing it. AIW, keep doing your thing. Keep showing the world why Northeast Ohio has some of the best wrestling in the whole damn country, let alone the world.
I'm stealing something from Ian Riccaboni. Happy wrestling, everybody.
Oh, I like it. You heard it there. Go follow Paul E. Hammer.
Jesus God.
I believe it's Paul _CLE.
Yes.
But Paul E. Hammer. We're gonna change that. We're gonna get that worked out real quick. Don't worry about it.
It comes out so smooth. Paul E. Hammer.
I am the best in the world.
I'm
That's
the
the
big
big
dog.
dog. That's the Hammer. Later.
Peace.